Hollywood scandals come and go. But once in a while, a story explodes so loudly that it shakes every corner of the entertainment industry. This is one of those stories. Because this time, it's not just a legal battle. It's not just leaked texts. And it's not just another celebrity feud. This is a story involving Taylor Swift, one of the most powerful women in music, Blake Lively, a Hollywood A-lister fighting serious allegations, and Justin Baldoni, a director now at the center of a lawsuit that refuses to stay quiet. And at the heart of it all are private messages that were never meant to be seen. Messages that include the words, "This be asterisk 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 got out his tiny violin." Asterisk. So how did Taylor Swift get dragged into a courtroom drama she was never supposed to be part of? Why are Blake Lively's lawyers submitting her private texts as evidence? And how did a film called It Ends With Us turn into one of Hollywood's most uncomfortable legal wars? Let's break it all down, calmly, clearly, and completely. The beginning. A film set that changed everything. The story begins back in 2023, on the set of It Ends With Us, a highly anticipated film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel. Blake Lively starred in the movie. Justin Baldoni was not only her co-star, he was also the director. At first, everything looked normal, professional, successful, but behind the scenes, something was brewing. According to Blake Lively, her experience on set was not what the public saw. She later claimed that Baldoni's behavior crossed professional boundaries and entered the territory of harassment. For a long time, those concerns stayed quiet. Until they didn't. Blake Lively files a complaint. By the end of 2024, Blake Lively filed a formal complaint with the California Civil Rights Department, accusing Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment. This was not a rumor. This was not a blind item. This was a legal filing. Soon after, she sued Baldoni. Hollywood reacted instantly. Some supported Lively, others questioned the timing, and Baldoni himself strongly denied every allegation, claiming they were false and damaging. He didn't just deny them, he fought back. Justin Baldoni countersued, and lost. Justin Baldoni filed a countersuit against Blake Lively, accusing her of retaliation and attempting to damage his reputation. But in June 2025, the court dismissed Baldoni's countersuit entirely. That decision shifted the balance. Now, only Blake Lively's claims remained. And as the case moved closer to trial, something unexpected happened. The court unsealed evidence. And that's when Taylor Swift's name appeared. The texts no one expected to see. In January 2026, legal documents filed by Blake Lively's lawyers included screenshots of text messages between Lively and her close friend, Taylor Swift. These messages were from December 2024, right around the time a New York Times article about Baldoni's alleged behavior was being prepared. One message, allegedly sent by Taylor Swift, read, "I think this be asterisk 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 knows something is coming because he's gotten out his tiny violin." Those words instantly went viral. Not because they were poetic. Not because they were kind. But because they were raw, private, and never meant for the public. Why were these texts filed in court? This is where the story becomes more complex. Blake Lively's legal team submitted the texts not to embarrass Taylor Swift, but to counter Baldoni's legal strategy. Baldoni's lawyers argued that Lively and Swift were privately coordinating around the upcoming New York Times article. Lively's lawyers pushed back hard. They admitted the messages were real, but said they did not prove coordination, planning, or manipulation. Instead, they described the texts as emotional reactions between friends. Nothing more. "I'll do anything for you." More messages surfaced. In one exchange, Blake Lively allegedly asked Taylor Swift to endorse a revised version of the script while Baldoni was present. Swift reportedly replied, "I'll do anything for you." Later, Lively praised Swift for supporting her, calling her epically heroic, and saying she recapped everything to her husband, Ryan Reynolds. To some, these messages showed friendship and loyalty. To others, they raised serious questions about influence and power behind the scenes. Taylor Swift response, quietly. Taylor Swift never testified in court. But she did respond through her representatives. Her team made it very clear. Taylor Swift never stepped on the film set, had no role in casting, had no creative control, did not score the movie, did not see the film until weeks after release. And most importantly, she was subpoenaed, but that subpoena was dropped permanently in September 2025. Legally speaking, Taylor Swift was out. But publicly, her name was already everywhere. Hollywood reacts. The reaction was immediate and divided. Some fans defended Taylor Swift, saying the texts were taken out of context and never meant to be public. Others questioned why a pop superstar was even involved in such a sensitive legal situation. And Justin Baldoni's supporters argued that the messages proved a coordinated effort to damage his reputation. The internet, as expected, chose sides. What the court actually says. Here's the part many people miss. Blake Lively's lawyers stated clearly that the texts do not support the claim that Swift and Lively planned or influenced the New York Times article. They emphasized that concerns about Baldoni's behavior were documented as early as spring 2023, long before the texts were written. Multiple women reportedly shared similar experiences. And according to the filing, Baldoni's production company allegedly refused to investigate those concerns. Where things stand now. As of now, Blake Lively's lawsuit is moving forward. Justin Baldoni denies all allegations. Taylor Swift is no longer legally involved. The trial is expected to take place in May. But the damage, reputational, emotional, and public, has already been done. The bigger picture. This isn't just a celebrity scandal. It's a story about power, friendship, loyalty, and what happens when private words become public evidence. It raises uncomfortable questions. Should private texts be used in court? Can celebrity influence affect legal outcomes? Where does support end and interference begin? And perhaps the most important question of all. When fame meets the justice system, who really controls the narrative? One film, one lawsuit, a handful of messages, and suddenly, some of the biggest names in Hollywood are connected forever by a legal battle that refuses to fade quietly. As the trial approaches, more revelations may come, more documents may surface, and more reputations may be tested. So stay watching, stay informed, and if you want updates as this story develops, subscribe, like, and comment your thoughts below. Because in Hollywood, the truth rarely stays hidden forever.